In front of you guys, everyone should have a welcoming cocktail. That is the Maximus Wallace. Being 34 years old, my favorite movies were Gladiator and Braveheart, and I had an amazing opportunity to combine the two together. So you have a lovely Scottish whiskey. We have Glenrothes 12. Glenrothes 12 is aged in sherry seasoned Oloroso casks. So I wanted to give nod to Maximus Decimus Meridius, aka the Spaniard. So we have sherry in here, a little Pedro Jimenez sherry. We also have from Italy, Fernet Branca and Carpano Mantica. So combining Maximus and William Wallace together. So hopefully that gets you in the mood for what we're going to talk about this evening. It's going to be paired lovely with that beet salad you have in front of you. Thank you to the Sanctuary for producing the food today. Very, very excited. Our first chef series for the Glenrothes, and it's amazing to be doing this with the lovely Flatbreads. Being a New Yorker myself, my last name is Mauriello, a lot of vowels in there, which means I've had a lot of pizza. Shocking with my waistline, I understand. But there's two things that are very easy on paper, right? Whiskey is a malted grain that you mill, malt, throw into a still, then you throw it into a barrel, you got whiskey, right? It's pretty easy. But some people make much better whiskey than others. So love and care produces the finished product. It's the same thing with pizza. With pizza, flatbreads, whatever you like to call it, it's yeast, it's salt, maybe a little bit of sugar, and flour. Roll it all together with some lovely water. Go to my broken roots, excuse me. So, roll it all together, marinara sauce, a little bit of cheese. Cheese that, there's a vegan option. You throw it in an oven, but there's certain pizza that's much better than others. That's why we wanted to pair with flatbreads at the Sanctuary today. The Glenrothes comes from a state of resilience. It is a brand of true Brit. It's been around since the 1870s, so hopefully we know what we're doing by now. It's a pretty long time. It is a brand that is built up of courage, off of commitment, off of community, and off of opportunity. So the Glenrothes is a brand that is hidden inside the lovely space side of Scotland. As you go down, if you ever have the opportunity to go to Scotland, it looks like Disneyland for whiskey drinkers. You see Balvenie here, you see Glenfiddich there, please come see us. But for the curious mind, you want to know what Scotland is not telling you. If they're showing you this, what are they not showing us? So for people that are going to do a deeper dive, you're going to realize that the fruits of your labor will pay off as you continue to look for spirits that they're not telling you. Unfortunately, in Glenrothes, we're not telling you what we're doing. There's no public visitor centers there. There's no signs, nothing. You will never see us. In fact, 80% of what is distilled at the Glenrothes is then shipped out and used for blended scotches all over the lowlands. So it's all about producing the best product possible. So that simple option that I spoke about, saying that it's just malted grain milled down and thrown into a still, we put tender loving care to every aspect of that. So we start out by having our own coopers. Coopers are the gentlemen that are making the casks. So we go to Jerez, Spain, where they are seasoned with Oloroso sherry. They're broken down and they're shipped back to Scotland, where our coopers weld them together, hammer them off. I mean, if you meet somebody that's missing thumbs in Scotland, it's probably a cooper, because they do it the old school way and they're hammering away. We then take our malted barley and we put it into these monstrous 45-foot stills. We have 6 of them, producing a very thin spirit. With that, we want something that is different than that traditional space out. We want something that is a little thinner, a little creamier, more fruit forward. With that, when you add it to the Oloroso sherry, it produces a beautiful spirit that has pear, melon, cardamom, sweet vanilla. It's all over the board. It's absolutely delicious. Now, looking for a bottle. You look up there, if you look at the bottles, and you look at the light and the color of it, what that's going to tell you is absolutely nothing. Because it is legal to add coloring to your whiskey in Scotland. At the Glenrothes, we pride ourselves in doing 100% natural color. We let our barrels do all the work. Let it speak for itself. 80% of the flavor from a single malt whiskey comes from our casks. So what we're doing here, we're utilizing the finest sherry seasoned cask in all the land. My company, what was that word? My company, Edgerton, there it was. I went it back a little bit. Been a little rusty, guys, you know. All these have been virtual. First time wearing pants doing one of these. So, my company, Edgerton, we spend more money on sherry seasoned cask than the entire single malt community combined. Where a lot of distilleries will go out and they will finish in sherry seasoned casks, we produce our entire aging process inside of Oloroso sherry. So we really understand that 80% of the flavor is coming from the casks. With that, we're spending as much money as possible, leaving them in there for as long as we possibly can, and building the cask ourselves. So this evening, we're going to be showcasing everything I just told you, alongside of some of the finest flatbreads / pizza that you will find. I am comparing our stills to the lovely wood-fired oven outside. And I know it's rude to go on your phones, but I would ask you to look up the Glenrothes Distillery on your phone. And if you see that, it is a beautiful stone wall building with red doors and red shutters that is alongside the River Sped. If that sounds familiar, you're in a place that's identical to it. We have the East River that's acting as the River Spey tonight, and we have a sanctuary that is acting as the Glenrothes. So we are transforming the sanctuary into the Glenrothes for the evening. And to pull it full circle, when the Glenrothes first hit, Brick didn't even go down before they were almost bankrupt because of financial crisis. And the minister of the town of Rothes was the one that raised the money to produce the first bricks to build a distillery. So we're doing it in a church as well. But cheers, guys. Enjoy your first cocktail. Enjoy your spirits. I'll be tuning in back and forth, letting you guys know what you're having. But salud. Cheers, guys. Thank you.